Welcome to day 11 of the transformation. Today I'm talking about one of my favorite topics, and that is the pain cave. A while back ago, when I was training for an ultra marathon race, in fact, my first one, I was listening to a lot of podcasts. There actually are quite a few podcasts about ultra marathon running. On one of these podcasts, I was introduced to a woman named Courtney Dauwalter. She's somewhat a phenomenon in the ultra running world. As it turns out, women are the difference between men and women sort of decrease as the mileage of a race increases. In sprinting, having, I guess, the muscle tone of a male runner gives them more power. I guess I don't know. I don't know all the science behind it, but irregardless, when you get to the long endurance races, the differences start to become less of an issue. I just think there's fewer women historically that have ran these ultra marathon races, but it's becoming more popular. And so Courtney is a woman who has had tremendous success. Well, anyway, they had a podcast with her, and she was relating one of the famous runs that she ran where she won. And it was 100 or a 250-mile race. I don't remember, but it was one of those big, long races that she does. And in that race, she was going through just a real struggle. She couldn't see very well. She was vomiting. She was behind. She was, further back than she wanted to be. But then she said, I decided to enter into the pain cave. It basically, she just went into the zone, went into the pain cave. Can't get any worse. I'm feeling a lot of problems, but I'm just going to go in the pain cave. Well, she did, and she just hustled her way through. And I think, if I remember, the first place runner, who's a man, took a stop at the last checkpoint before the finish of the race. And from what I understand, Courtney ran right through that checkpoint while he was standing there, and she won the race. So anyway, just interesting. Or I don't know if she won or she came in the top, but anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is the pain cave helped her get through that. So this is not a new concept. Pain cave is a coping mechanism, effectively. So when people feel pain, there are many ways to deal with it, and a coping mechanism is one that's common. There are many different coping mechanisms, but the one that people usually use is some sort of distraction to get your mind off of the pain. And a pain cave definitely serves as that distraction. But it also serves as a meditative state or a mindfulness, an awareness of what you're feeling. So for example, as you're running and you have a pain, like let's say in your foot or in your toes or in your knee or wherever it happens to be, you can, instead of stopping and complaining about the pain, you can say, oh, I'm having a pain in my knee. That feels weird. And then you can separate yourself away from the pain and evaluate the pain for what it really is. Is this pain coming from a serious injury, or is this just pain from wear or fatigue? What is this pain? How sharp is this? But you can start, and then you can analyze. And so basically what you're doing is you're separating yourself from the actual pain. And by so doing, you're now, distracting yourself from it, but you're actually realizing what it is, and you're seeing it for what it actually is. So being mindfully aware of what's impacting you can really help you get through it. Because sometimes when you're into something and an inconvenience happens, it can be so frustrating. But that always happens when you're not that mindful. I don't know if you've had this experience. I think we all do. But you're trying to get something done. You're working hard, and then something distracts you. And then you just get angry, like frustrated, like, this thing it's hurting me. It's getting in my way. Well, the reason why you're reacting that way is you're not very mindful. You're doing something and you're trying to get something done, but you're not aware of what's going on. So when you're in that really meditative state of awareness, it allows you to understand what's happening and react to it appropriately. And so the pain cave gave Courtney, in her case, the ability to run through even the most tremendous pain. This can be, this isn't just about running, however, and it isn't just about pain caves. You can come up with any phrase or place or thing that helps you get very quickly to a state where you can deal with discomfort, aggravation, pain, or some other, or aggravation or anxiety or something else. You can always transform yourself by coming up with that mechanism. I chose Pain Cave because it works for one of the most badass, scrappy runners in the ultra marathon circuit. But you can choose whatever mechanism works for you. And I've heard other people have theirs. I think I heard David Goggins has one. He calls it the cookie jar. So, I mean, you can come up with your own, but I think it's really an important part of personal transformation. If you're trying to actually change yourself, sometimes it's just going to be hard. You're going to get resistance. There'll be some stuff you're gotta fight through. So, and that's not always going to be fun. That's going to be discouraging and just downright depressing sometimes and overwhelming. So rather than allowing yourself to get overwhelmed, come up with a mechanism. Mine is when I feel that way, discouraged, upset, I'm struggling, then I just go into the pain cave.